Hello, my dear viewers. Welcome to Monday Nights with Mohit Kamath, and this is the episode number 46. Episode number 46. We have come a very long way. I remember, very vividly that I was deciding, whether to start or no. What will I do? How will I start? What will I talk about? 1 hour long, or probably around more than 30 to 40 minutes continuously I will have to talk. How will I do it? And once, believe me, it was just a start. And once I started, it was just a flow. And then we figured out this is what we learn from the sport, right? Sport has taught us just to jump in and then figure out. This is not only said by me, but there is a famous entrepreneur. His name is Richard Branson. He says that if you don't know anything, just say yes and jump onto it. And once you jump onto it, and then you will be likely able to figure out how to do it. So it's not a big rocket science. So what you need to do, you need to jump on the task and then figure out how to do it. So we have our first guest, Sarvesh. Hello, Sarvesh. Are you the same Sarvesh in every show? So you're the rock star, Sarvesh. Let me know on that. So this is the episode number 46, and we have two great news in this show tonight. You must be knowing that the first one, the men's doubles pair of SATCHI, Satwik Sairaj and Chirag Shetty, has won the French Open after many, many long years. Right? And the second news is Sankar Muthusamy from Tamil Nadu, from Chennai Badminton, and from Indian Badminton. He has won the silver medal in the Junior World Championships 2022, Santander, Spain. Isn't that wonderful news? So let's quickly go on to the topic of the day. A good week in Indian Badminton. A great week in Indian Badminton, right? So, well, Sarvesh, wow, then welcome to the show. So you can like my video and maybe probably subscribe. That'll be a great motivation. Okay, so let's first talk about Sankar Muthusamy. And a lot of people have praised him, not only from badminton, but also from different sports. The very own Bollywood star, Tapsi Pannuji, so she has, tweeted about and Insta, what do you call it? She has put a story and posted certain things about Sankar Muthusamy as well as our Satchi. Good, right? So Bollywood people are talking about badminton. Great. By the way, Tapse's boyfriend, Matthias Bo, is the men's doubles coach for India. Hello and welcome. So only Sarvesh is here. A couple of more people are joining. So sorry, last week I was terribly ill. I had a viral infection, and I was completely off for 3-4 days during the Diwali. I'm still recovering. My throat is sore. I hope I can get, healthy. So let's go on first to the draw of Sankar Muthusamy. Okay. Tournament software, there I don't think so there is any alternative for tournament software, right? So as popular, right? I know that there are a couple of alternatives, but not as tournament software. It's a great software. Okay, let's go to the draw. Men's singles under 19. I thought it's boys singles under 19, right? It's men's singles under 19. Okay. Let me share the screen. Okay, you can see the screen. Um, that's the draw. you know, excuse me. So Alex Lehner from France was the number one seed, and he was the favorite. He was the most favorite of the tournament. Everybody thought that he could really make a difference for France. We have Bharat Raghav from India, and let's directly go to um, our favorite Shankar Muthusamy. I think Sankar Muthusamy could have, taken the paws of, the superstar Rajnikant. ஒரு தடவை சொல்ல 100 சரி சொல்ல மாதிரி, right? And he could have, made wonders in badminton match. Imagine, I want you to imagine if Shankar Muthusamy had got the powers of Rajnikant. I think one smash and no landing, directly tap and then finish and then land. So here we go. Shankar Muthusamy was the fourth seed of the tournament, so he got a bye. Then he beat Singapore player Remus NG 21-11 and 21-15. Then he beat the Spaniard. It was a long match, 21-16. He won the first game, lost the second game 17-21 and 22-20 on the third game. And then you can see he played the Thai player Nachakon Pusri 21-15 and 21-13. And then comes the quarterfinals, I believe. He played the Chinese player Hu Zhean 21-16 and 21-19. Then the semi-finals, and this guy is also one of, he's one of my favorite too. He's a left-handed player. Panichapon Tirarat Sakul, 22-20 and 21-19, and probably this was one of the longest match. It was 90 minutes match, and Shankar Muthuswamy's game style is on the defensive side. He's, his idol is Kento Momota, and he has idolized based out of his game, and is quite a lot of successful at that time. We will also go through certain statements made by his coach as himself. He played a long match. The score is pretty very close, straight, 22-20 and 21-19, and he played a fantastic game in the end. Shankar Muthusamy. The matches are there on BWF TV on YouTube. You can go and watch it. And then he played the finals against Kuokon Lin of Chinese Taipei, 21-14 and 22-20. And the final game, when I saw the final game, right, the score was 14-20, and he was on the match point. The opponent was on the match point, and from there he made it 22-20, and that 6 points was brilliant. He did not play completely on the defensive mode, but he tried to keep the shuttle neutral. When I say neutral, it doesn't mean that there was no smash or there was no defense completely from Shankar, but it was something like, there were a lot of fast-paced rallies, which was not too much on the lobby and too much near the net. It was completely, from just like how you play a box game. There's something called box. You leave the front, the 1/3 front of the court, your court, and back the third 3x3 of the badminton court. So you just keep playing on the 2x3 of the size of the court, and we could see that a lot of rallies in that pace, and that I think gave Shankar Muthusamy 6 points, and his opponent was pretty nervous. And then the last two shots was a good smash by his opponent, and that's where he lost it. But we are very, very proud of Shankar Muthusamy to bring home the silver medal. We have a lot of we have a lot of comments here. Okay, okay, sorry for that. Okay, if you're seeing... Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. So he played a long match. This was the long match, 21-18, 8-21, and 21-16. I'm so sorry for that, for the mistake. Sometimes happens. Apologies. So we have Arun Pemaya. Hello, Arun. I hope you're doing well. Happens, bro. Yeah. So there is some mistake from my side. Absolutely. Apologies for that. Hello. Hello, Disha. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Arun. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so that was of Sankar Muthusamy. And let me go to the French Open. Let's go and watch a match of French Open, the magical pair, SATCHI. I hope I don't get community strike from YouTube. Let's try. Okay. So let me reduce the sound a bit so that you can watch it. Okay. So, I when I saw this match, right? So I saw the highlights, and there were a lot of rallies which was at a different pace. Both Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty have learned and managed to play a different style of game. There were times where they were extremely fast, exchanging a lot of parallel shots to each other, and then suddenly they used to break that pace and bring up a soft stroke or shot in between these opponents, so that they completely have to recalibrate their ideas and positions, and then again go back to defense. I think that was a major change they have done. I think this is something maybe the new coach, the Danish coach Matthias Bo, has brought some changes in them. I really like the way they played that complete match, and I just want you all to see the way they celebrated, man. So Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy is hilarious. So he is the most funniest guy, and he was just celebrating after the match. Let me take you to the celebrations. I really like the way he celebrates. Celebration is important, right? What do you think? Okay, there you go. That's the match point. Yeah, nice. That's a good follow through. He is Matthias Bo. So he was just dancing all over the court, and then he was making some weird steps. Very flamboyant. So we have Raf Scallion. Hello, Raf. I hope you're doing well. As Gil commentator said, they need to work on their celebrations. Yes. But I don't think so. You can, well, you can, but I feel that is something which comes very deep within. How do you practice a celebration? I think that really comes out random and rampantly, and that emotions, it's kind of a burst. It's like a atom bomb. It really bursts all your hard work, your sacrifice, day in, day out, morning, night. You're completely sweating. Not only sweat, sometimes you dive and bring out that blood, and you're completely involved in it. That's your life. And when you achieve some sort of international medal and international championship, and that's a Super 750. That's one of the biggest titles anybody can win in this whole world. One of the biggest titles. That comes naturally. Celebrations comes naturally. Yes, Sarvesh, I do agree with you. Celebrating is important. For good celebration, see Russians winning All England 2016. Oh no, that was nasty. I remember. I remember that, Raf. I clearly remember. By the way, thanks. I've arranged with Padukone SM to train for all of April. Perhaps we can meet in Bangalore. Perfect. We will definitely, meet in Bangalore. So I would like to take you somewhere for lunch or dinner, Raf, to have some good local stuff. Let me know if your tummy is okay for that. So, I also watched Victor Axelsen. Man, that guy is brilliant. He is just out of the world. Rasmus played really well. I have to acknowledge that. But the way Victor was able to set up for his smashes was unbelievable. I'll tell you. I have seen his matches before, but at this match, I think he was completely dominating, trying to dominate in the first few points. But after 6-7 points, he was a blasphemy. I'm telling you, he was just amazing, and the way the attack was going from the forehand, he was mixing really well on the straight smashes and cross smashes. Let us watch some of the clips. I hope you guys have watched Victor Axelsen. How do you beat this guy now? I think that would be the talk of the town. Okay. Okay, there you go. Victor Axelsen. So you just look at his positions. So he's there for defense, he's there for attack. One single big jump, and the shuttle. By the time you lift the shuttle to any of the corners of Victor Axelsen when he's playing, the shuttle is already down. Watch him. He's monster. He's just monster. And I think both are from Denmark. They might be possibly knowing their game very well. That's an odd angle. That's something very smart of Victor Axelsen. He always does that. He breaks the angle for the opponent. So let's skip some of the rallies. I hope you can watch it properly. Very smooth. Look at the length. He has everything, he has everything. He can play defensive style, he can play attacking style, he can play continuous attacking. We saw that in All England Championships against Lakshya Sen. He can play a neutral. Look at the score, 13-3, 13-4. Victor can play the neutral stuff, avoiding the net. Watch out that angle. That's a crazy angle. Since he has a advantage of being tall, he can reach the shuttle much higher. Look at the stability, okay, when he is playing, when he's defensive. Watch out his legs. Very stable. Even the defense is very stable. That's a good angle break, yeah. Oh, that's a fantastic one. See, he can come back. This shot, he came from the overhead to this forehand corner forehand front corner. He just came within 2 steps. That's a great one. One single return, service return. Wow. See, such a quick point, right? The service return was very fast. He's there. Yeah. See, if you're an opponent of Victor, you just cannot play bullshit. You just cannot play bullshit. You will lose that point, obviously, but the next 2-3 points will be very tough for you mentally, psychologically to come back. You just cannot do that with Victor. Yes, sir. Sarvesh, I did not understand that. Yes, sir. Can you please explain the context of it? He just doesn't allow you to get a good angle for a good drop shot near the net, and then let Victor go for a lift, and then you can smash. You don't get that. You just don't get that. Two things if you want to beat Victor. One, he really has to be not in the mood, or he just should not get a momentum. That's one way to beat him. Second, added, lift every goddamn smashes he is playing. Don't let him come under the shuttle. Keep retrieving his smashes again and again and again. Then there is a pressure point. Take him closer, maybe 16 all, 17 all, somewhere there, and let him play those corner shots, which is more of impatient ones. That's how you can beat Victor. Closer points, you have more chance. That's how Lakshya Sen beat him. That's how Lee Zizia has beaten him in All England Championships. Sarvesh A, he can play any type of game and be good at it. Absolutely, isn't it? Yeah. And even He Binjao, right? If you see the women's singles match, I should have played women's singles too. I'm very sorry because I could not take the permission of that. So even if you see He Binjao when she played, right? I love the way she moves on court. So effortless. She has that, in Hindi we call it as jhalak, that glimpse of Roger Federer. Not so much, I would say 100 out of 100. I would say somewhere around 20 out of 100. The way she comes to the net, very casual and very calm. She lifts, she has that good defense and good recovery. Amazing. And now you can also see when Rasmus hits, right? So he doesn't have that complete body utilization when he's smashing. There is no full arm power. So he has that, half. Look at that. So it's more of, restricted shoulder so that you cut your power. There's a loss of power when you smash. A good smash will allow you to win more matches, period. That's a good one. Look at the score, no? It's 15-10. So you obviously, have this trailing, when you're trailing 5-6 points against a monster like Victor. Psychologically, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult to come back. How do you find that gap? How do you score back up? Because everything is coming back. The defense is coming back. That there's a massive attack, and probably even if you're standing on a good defensive position, those attacking smashes are coming, in front of you. It's not even in the sides. It's so deep. And you'll have to, counter-attack all these shots. It's not easy. It's a good one. Yes, the third point I forgot to tell you, to beat tall players is to attack sideways, very quick, and on the body. Because their rate of the rate of moving side to side is not fast as the shorter people, because it takes longer time to go left and right and left and right. It's done. Victor is victorious. Nice. Done. Yes. Emotions. Look at the celebrations, emotions. That's just one moment. Probably 6 seconds after you win. And for that 6 seconds or 1 minute, these players throw their life to it. Right? It's too hard for badminton players. It's too hard for their body. They go through so many things, right? So many things. And ultimately, and when you win, especially when you're playing international matches, and when you win, that flag, when it goes higher and higher and you sing your national anthem, that's the best moment anybody can have in their life. I have been there. That's the bestest moment anybody can have, believe me. And money cannot buy that. That's one of the reasons. So anybody has any questions, let me know. Let's also go through, Shankar Muthusamy, some of the statements. His coach, there is one or two good important messages which I want to, put it across. So let me go through that. Okay. Okay, not a problem. Okay. Okay, let me try this. Raf, what is the Indian training ethos philosophy? I think we have evolved in many ways. Many of the coaches have upgraded to their knowledge of how to train, because earlier we used to see a lot of endurance based training. When I say earlier, it's not so far. I went through a very endurance packed training in PPBA, and then I have heard a lot of training about Gopichand Academy, which is more on the endurance side. But I would say that somewhere from 2012 to 14, good physios and good trainers have made a big difference in training methodologies. When you ask this question, Indian training ethos and philosophy, it's a mixed culture now. The Asian, the South Asian, and the European mix kind of training and methodologies has been followed. When I contacted PSM, they said there is no dedicated doubles training, and a group training is preferable to one-on-one. Here in England, it's quite different. Well, for that, that's a good point, Raf. Well, we have dedicated doubles training. It's not there in PSM, but there are many other academies which has a dedicated doubles training. There is YPBA in Bangalore. There is Selenite. A lot of other academies are there which has dedicated doubles training, and group training is preferable to one-on-one. Here in England, it's quite different. I think the whole of Europe, right? According to me, the whole of Europe has this cultural thing where racket sports are mainly driven through one-on-one coaching style. If I take tennis example, right? So there are the academy concept itself is very vague and very different. You will not be maybe get a training which has more people in it, or group training, the way the individual training is valued. So here there is not a significant change, but I could see, and I can when I speak to a lot of coaches, they are also triggering more towards a slight of hybrid kind of training, which is 70% group training and 30% of individual training. I keep doing that, and every student in my academy, I think a lot of individual aspects of how to train them and how to polish certain things which can help them individually, and based on that I design my programs. So having said that, yes, in England and in Europe, the culture is different for sports and training. And it also there is something called supply and demand. So if you also put in that perspective, the supply and demand is equal, but in India the supply is very high, the demand is very high, and even the supply is getting less and less and less. When I say in terms of supply, it's academies and the other resources of training. Okay, I'm unable to log in on Instagram, but let me try again. Okay, BAI Media. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's a quite. There was a couple of statements from Shankar Muthuswamy's coach. I really like that. He was mentioning about. Let me see that. I'm unable to find that. It's unnecessarily asking me some login credentials and all. But let me state that I had read it. So Shankar Muthuswamy's coach Arvind Samiyappan. So he is not a ex badminton champion in nationals or internationals. He's just a very normal coach who understands sports, who has played some multi sports. He's a multi sports player, and he had this passion to have a badminton academy. And one of the player was Shankar Muthuswamy. So early, they had this routine. The coach Arvindan had this routine of doing that wall practice session, and this guy Shankar Muthuswamy was patient enough to continue for more than 4 minutes and 5 minutes on the day 1 to day for the first 30 days. And that's where he realized that this guy at the age of 5 to 6, he has that patience to go on and on and on for one single thing. And I think that was one of the key factor. And then second, I would then second, he said that a coach and a student, the relationship, there has to be a lot of trust. The coach has to trust in the abilities and the deliverance of the player. In the same way, the player has to trust in the ability of the coach to design the program which is better for him. If that trust is not there, I don't think so anybody will benefit from this. So this was one of the good statement, and he doesn't come from one of the most posh academies, the big academies, or how do you call it, the whole Indian badminton talks about the big academies where you get more opportunities. But this boy Shankar Muthuswamy, he's already in ranking world number 1. But he delivered that with an amazing trusted training which his coach had, right? So he doesn't come from a big academy. There is a moderate academy, and there are a couple of players who are training with him, and he doesn't have all these fancy stuff with him. But look at the trust what they have on each other, and this is the result which they have produced. Exactly. So many people in India, then group training is the most efficient delivery method, but was somewhat surprised as nothing can compare to dedicated one on one attention from a knowledgeable coach. I agree to the fact, but I think um, there will be a time where you will have to, maybe the ratio has to be shifted, maybe more than 50% of your training part. Sindhu has this Korean coach, right? So she spends, I think, more than 60-70% of her training regime with that one particular coach. But if you are a junior, if you are, still in the state level or national level, or I would say a budding player, you will still have to, go and play in a group, because there are, it also depends on the different age factor, right? um, this is something which I, personally, this is my personal opinion. It could be different for different coaches. It can be thought in a very, it can be articulated in a very different way. But I feel that, you get one life, and you have to try and do the best what is possible for you. But until the age of, 15 or 18, it's good to, get into the group training as much as you do the one-on-one training or individual training as such. Because what is the point you become world champion and you don't have people to celebrate with you, you don't have a group of friends and fellow players who are genuinely happy for you? What is the point, right? So being a champion is, yes, it's necessary, but also, after becoming a champion, when you retire from the sport, you need to be a good human being for the society, and that happens if you have a good network and a, good relationship with other players, right? So that's something I really want to tell all of you, and most of the players, that keep a hybrid. It's good to have a hybrid model of training. Enjoy the sport, the sport aspect of it, not to think too much about the performance or how much titles you won in the end. No, how much fun also you had from the sport, how much learning you had from the sport, how much did you psychologically and physiologically grow with the sport. That is also important. And I think with the age factor, the younger you are, less than 15, I think group training also is more fun, more growth oriented. That's the right word, growth oriented. And the higher you go, it's some sort of individual attention, maybe working on very I would say that's detailing. If you work some things in your game with the right detail and you understand the speed, the pace of it, maybe that will help you a lot. Meena Jagdish, good evening, sir. Thank you, Meena Jagdish. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. So I'll be here for another 5 more minutes. If you have any questions, please let me know. It was a good Monday, and this was a great week for Indian badminton. You're right, Raf. Nothing can compare to a dedicated one-on-one attention from a knowledgeable coach. Fantastic. And by the way, Sankar Muthusamy and SATCHI both are getting 5 lakh each for their amazing performance. I want this 100x. It's not 50 lakhs. I want this 5 crore each. Anybody who can, win at international levels, I want 5 crore. So 5 more minutes. I'll be here. You can have any questions, please let me know on that. Karthik Kamath, Arun Pemmaya, and Meena Jagdish, thanks for the like. What are the strategies for defeating a really fast player? There are 2 strategies according to me. Depends on the score, how you look at it. If the score is level or maybe before 11 points, let him play as fast as possible. Probably play more of cross shots. I'm talking about singles. Maybe make him run diagonally so that he tires out. That's one of the way to play. And second strategy would be use a good length. Keep the shuttle in a good length in the corners so that he will have to run more if he wants to play faster. These are the 2 strategies to apply on a really fast player. I See, that's a very tricky question when you say that defeating comes in a very different style and manner. So you want to win, you have to do right things at the right time. What do you think is the next step for Ranki and Shetty? How do we get the second and third men's doubles pairs to be as competitive in the world stage? That's a great planning by the association and the coaches. Because these players, if you see, they were handpicked, they were talent acquisition. How do you call it? What's the past tense of it? Acquisition. So they were picked by this Tan Kim Her, the most famous international coach from Malaysia, and he picked them through their pros and cons of their physiological and the technical tactical stuff, and he trained them in such a way that they could crack in the top 30. And now his style of training, the Malaysian style of training, is more towards the speed and power and more of attacking style. And when Matthias came, he brought the element, the tinge of dropping down the pace, so that it's like you're playing fast and suddenly the 2-3 shuttles are very slow. You'll have to adjust your pace to that. So that is excuse me, so that is something he got it into these people, and that's where you can see the difference. But the second pair, if you I think you might not have followed it. There are two good pairs. One is MD Arjun and the partner, and there's one more pair from they're just juniors now, but they're doing really well. So I wouldn't take their name, but if they stick on, they have a good combination. But that completely, Raf, belongs to the proper ideology and the planning, the talent identification, which comes from the national tournaments, domestic tournaments. There's a whole lot of graft to be made. There you go. Yeah. And for doubles, I think, as you asked this question, Raf, dedicated badminton training has to be there, for different geographical situations in our country, the north, south, east, west. A lot of people have to play the sport doubles. The boys doubles and mixed doubles has to be started from very young age. That's where maybe by the time you cross the juniors, you should be able to at least in the top 5 of the best doubles players of the country. And that's where you get a lot of exposure to international events. You play the badminton leagues, probably Malaysian leagues or Indian badminton leagues. So all these factors matter a lot. But they are not at the level yet. I wonder how to get them same as. There's still time. Who can beat them? Anyone on their day? I think there's still time. Is it that geographically different disciplines are well known? Example, North is more known for singles or something. Well, in India, I think men's singles and women's singles is more valued still, more played still. But I could see from the association, from the association itself, they're pushing a lot of doubles event. And earlier we didn't have the under 15 mixed doubles category, and now they have the mixed doubles category. That's a good sign of improvement. And dedicated All India doubles tournament could also add in the fire, add in the ingredient for what we are looking for. That's my take on that. But a very good question, Raf. So I'll be taking one last question and then we'll have to leave. By the way, I heard some things about age fraud, but even if it's true, I struggle to see what is the benefit of age fraud. If someone is good, then they will be scouted no matter the age group they are entered. My question, the same factor, my question is what is the motivation to do an age fraud? Age fraud is not primarily done by the players, because you will have to do it by the time you enter the competitive stage, which is under 11, under 13, and or maybe under 15. What is the real motivation? I think parents have that motivation, that unfair motivation to be the best no matter what, even if the route has to be bad, the route has to be evil, they're doing it. And I think that's one of the factor I feel, to win the medal, to win the championship, to be the best, my son or daughter has to be the best, irrespective of being unfair. I think that's the question I really want to ask the parent. What kind of example we are setting up for the next generation? Is it worth it to spend your whole life, to make your son or daughter spend your whole life in guilt that they have achieved something which was unfair? Do you want to be that evil? Do you want to be that monster in their life? Maybe somewhere in their life they will regret it. So that is also my question. So age fraud, you don't get anything from the age fraud. Probably one or two all Indias, or you may be getting the job. In India, the job is one of the major factor of motivation after post under 17 or under 19. That could be one of the reason. Is that they will get the best training opportunities for the age group unfairly? Yes. I don't see the benefit of doing it. Those are the principles. Those are the ethics, Raf, which your family has been into, or maybe your family has been brought up. Family ethics plays a lot of importance during that age. Unfortunately, this seems something becoming a reputation of Asian athletes and somehow India also. Here in Europe, that is the perception. Asia will do anything to win, no matter the sportsmanship. You're absolutely right. So here we go. This was a wonderful session. The topic of the session was a great week for Indian badminton. Sankar Muthusamy, the second Indian to play the Junior World Championship Finals from India, and SATCHI, the best pair, the best Indian doubles pair, Satvik Sairaj and Chirag Shetty, have won the French Open, their first French Open, probably, and made our country proud. We had a wonderful Monday. Thanks a lot for all of you to come for the show. French Open champion, France Open champion. So I think they would be tasting some nice tiki-taka masala in France, and probably they would be holding their shield or trophy and watching the wonder of the world. What's it called? The Paris Tower, the Eiffel Tower, and enjoying the French one. Yes, come on, France, and maybe tossing some wine and champagne, and enjoying their time. So thanks a lot, everybody, to come for the show, and let's meet up on the next Monday. I had two cats had come from my from my daughter, I would say. There's a new cat, Ginger, a very aggressive cat. Say hello. And there's one more cat, Rainbow. So there were 4 siblings, Rome, Rainbow, Ginger, and 16. So this is Rainbow. Hi, Rainbow. No, they are shy. They're camera shy. Okay, so they're leaving today for their original homes, and this is my Rome. He's very
rowdy.
He's a rogue. He's a rowdy. Say meow. Say meow. Say hi. Okay. So hello Ginger and hello Rainbow. So thank you guys. Thank you for making this show wonderful, and have a nice week ahead. November is starting. There's only 2 months left in this 2022 year, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. See you next Monday. Until then, bye-bye. Take care.